I just got done reading the last so-called chapter, Final Thoughts. Got a little emotional at the end. Had to close it up just because I remember starting it about a year ago on the rocks of Chatham, Massachusetts. And it was, for me, very difficult to do because I mentioned bringing up old wounds. So I'm not going to even reiterate or talk about or discuss the last chapter. It's extremely self explanatory. I would just like to read acknowledgements, and it's important for you to understand how this happened. So please bear with me. It's the end of the book, and it's extremely important to me that you know. It was a close friend and business associate who looked at me across dinner in a local restaurant after one of my motivational workshops and said, "Brian, you have to write this fucking book." As I drove home that night, I tried to figure out exactly what kind of book it was I wanted to write. My wife also encouraged me to do it, and as she would learn, I have lived through many emotional and embarrassing moments she didn't even know about. There were several chapters I asked her to review to confirm details, facts, dates, and times. I watched her read them in front of me and couldn't help but see the hurt and pain reflected back in her eyes. No one knows me better than she does, and still she didn't know about any of this. I told her no. I wouldn't write it, but she insisted. She knew I had to do it. She knew the number of people that it could potentially help. My co-author, Steve Porter, said that this is the type of memoir you want to try to limit your words and stay focused on the story you are trying to tell. I didn't realize how hard it was to do. Imagine the experience from over 30 years of stories from childhood, high school, my years in business, the gym, and all that goes with it. I had 150 friends at my bachelor party alone, and none of them knew. They were all my friends and buddies, and I could tell a story about every one of them. I once went to England with a band, worked as a bouncer in a bar, and took some wild trips to Fort Lauderdale. But the best time of my life was getting married and starting a family. It grounded me. It also drove me to want to get better and heal. Now I'm not sure it would have been possible to put all those feelings, emotions, and experiences accumulated over 40 years into words. If I had, this book would be 5,000 pages long. The biggest challenge was telling my story and sharing the tools that are relevant and related to your own anxieties and fears. I've pinpointed and shared specific examples and circumstances from my life to illustrate that. But please note, there were many, many, many more instances I could have written about and that I continue to discuss in my workshops. One point I want to make here is that despite the horrors, the good has far exceeded the bad. I now enjoy my life tremendously. I accept that I have always had agoraphobia, but I've dealt with it and learned to let it go. We've traveled together as a family many times a year. We are fortunate. I am also fortunate to have time to ski, boat, take motorcycle rides all by myself. The testing time is over and the living has started. I wouldn't trade my experiences for anything in the world, even though it's an ordeal. But I am now on a new path, and this path has helped me appreciate even more the joy my family brings me, the joy my family brings me. I am blessed to have a heart and mind full of happiness. May you live the rest of the days of your life. And a quick afterword by Stephen Porter, who's my co-author. Fear is a complex and powerful emotion that carries with it an astonishing range of effects and influences. Fear has the power to keep you off a roller coaster and a clout to stop you from asking someone out on a date. Fear might convince you to stay quiet and not rise to share your thoughts in front of an audience, or it could keep you from ever setting foot in your spider-infested tool shed ever again. And as we saw on 9/11 in the hands of the profoundly desperate and the evil, fear can be wielded, a weapon more powerful than an army, and can disrupt nations in a moment, control millions, and to change the world as we know it forever. From this assessment, many would infer that fear is a great evil, a danger, a weakness, and something we must avoid at any cost. Fearing fear itself, so to speak. But do our customary reactions to true fear possess a deeper meaning? It is quite possible that this essential element of human existence requires not avoidance, but instead our constant attention, respect, and understanding to control it. Fear is the most important primitive of human emotion and has an intimate tie to the other so-called negative emotions like sadness, fright, dread, anxiety, and anger. Its origins are no doubt rooted at the beginning of human evolution, when survival of our kind was not assured, and perhaps competing species that did not possess the important ability to be afraid were summarily consumed, destined to fall into the enemy of permanent extinction. Fear is normal. Fear keeps us safe. Fear remains a prime motivator in our quest for survival. As a novelist, I often find myself pondering the motives of the characters I create. I give them obstacles, and I wonder if their actions are consistent with their feelings as they battle through them. Are they believable? It haunts me. Would I myself do such a thing? Entire genres of writing have emerged out of the motivations of love, romance, and curiosity, mystery. Yet oddly, within the genre of fear, horror, books and stories are more commonly written not necessarily to explain the actions of characters, but instead are written to scare the bejesus out of the reader. It turns out that fear is also fun when controlled, and can even be exhilarating when defeated. It was for this reason I was both honored and excited to be invited to work with Brian and help him tell his extraordinary story. Characters in novels and movies are left with neatly packaged black and white choices. Overcome their fears or surrender to them. Rocky could have walked away from that fight with Apollo Creed that he knew he couldn't win. Yet he stepped into the ring choosing to fight anyway. The story of how Brian faced his fears and overcame them provides important insight for us all. Whether inflicted with anxiety disorder or not, the tools described in his book can be applied to anyone who sees anxiety as an obstacle in their own happiness. But Brian is no fictional character, and the choice he made not to succumb to fear, but instead to accept it and overcome it, to do it anyway, was far from simple. This is real life, and Brian is real flesh and blood existing in the real world and in real time. And Brian is also quick to point out that there is a huge difference between real fear, like the fear of terrorism, and imagined fear that he has suffered and battled for decades. Yet it is harder to make such a simple separation of the physical and the emotional reactions within the human mind. The experience and the feelings remain eerily the same. As children, we believe that the monster under our beds will eat us, an extraordinary and necessary creation of the human imagination. The prospect of such monster terrifies us. Our heart rate rises. We sweat, we hyperventilate, we cry. As adults, we giggle at the thought, yet the monster, though imagined, is as real and horrific as anything we've experienced to the point in our young, restricted world. That monster is important in teaching our young selves lessons about fear, fearing the unknown, and the eventual realization that some kinds of fear are imaginary after all. No child to date has ever been eaten by that monster. It's an important experience we all live through before we are faced with the tangible fears later in life. It's how we safely develop important personal traits like courage, bravery, strength, and understanding. It's terror with training wheels. We are born with the innate ability to know that the world we aspire to live in is a very dangerous and scary place. Brian and I are listed here as co-authors, but the anecdote, stories, experiences, moments, and lessons chronicled in this book are authentically Brian's. My role in this creation of the book was to be the incubator, a surrogate, to help direct, shape, craft, and narrative in such a way that these true, unbelievable moments are believable. It was Brian's belief that if the story could be told with true authenticity and compassion, many who allow fear and panic to rule their lives will be helped. It is my hope we have achieved that lofty goal, and perhaps even more. Now you know why he's my co-author. These are about the authors. That's obviously me. I'll just go through it. Brian Benedus is the owner and founder of Ocean State Packaging, a multi-million-dollar international plastics packaging supplier based in East Greenwich, Rhode Island, that provides high-quality and complete plastic packaging solutions to a variety of industries. In 2001, Brian founded Motivate for Success to share his story and through it all, offer motivational seminars and presentations to individuals and groups all over the country, helping people overcome their own anxiety and fears. Brian and his wife, Robbie, have 2 children and currently live in Rhode Island. Stephen Porter is the publisher and writer, as well as the author of 2 independently published novels, the crime thrillers Confessions of the Meek and Valiant and the award-winning historical novel Manassas, based on the history and legends of Block Island. He is the founder and president of the Association of Rhode Island Authors, which has grown in just 4 years to include over 270 members. He and his wife Dawn live in Gloucester, Rhode Island, where they own and operate Stillwater River Publications, which happens to be mine. This last part is from a very good friend of ours, Jeff Maidment, my manager, and myself. Her name is Jessica Stewart. She is a psychologist, and she works at the Moses Brown School, high school in Rhode Island. And she was nice enough to read my book and put a passage. And I would really appreciate it if you listen to this. Advance praise for scared to death, do it anyway. For those suffering with severe anxiety and panic, this book will offer the yes, that's my life. Since that book's written by I'm going to start that all over again. I apologize. For those suffering with severe anxiety and panic, this book will offer the yes, that's my life sense that books written by clinicians just can't quite capture. Brian does an excellent job expressing just how awful true severe anxiety feels, physically, emotionally, and mentally, and how isolating it could be. He goes beyond the clinical symptoms checklist that anyone can read online to offer countless examples of how severe anxiety colors the lenses through which sufferers see the world, leading to interpretations and automatic thoughts that intrude, dictate, and debilitate. Brian also shows us that sometimes people who are still functioning day to day may truly be suffering in the inside. Scared to Death, Do It Anyway is a valuable resource for loved ones who suffer from severe anxiety and panic as well. While many people empathize and feeling nervous, overly worried, and busy-brained, it is really hard for family and friends to imagine all the barriers and reasons why those suffering can't just face it or stop worrying so much. It is my hope that those who are living the kind of anxiety-ridden life that Brian describes will read this resource and be motivated by the reality that they can be less anxious and happier. Through learning that what is happening in the body, how thinking can be destructive, and that there are tools to challenge and tolerate severe anxiety in healthy ways. This is a great companion for the guided work of cognitive behavioral therapy. Her name is Jessica Stewart, clinical and school psychologist, Providence, Rhode Island. And that is it. I'm going to read one last part, and I promise that'll be it. It's important that you understand. It is my hope that by reading about my embarrassing, funny, scary, heartbreaking, and happiest moments, that someone will be helped. And I hope that this won't just help the children, adults, athletes, business professionals, and others who struggle with anxiety and panic attacks every day, but it'll also help the people who care and love them so that they will understand them just a little bit better. 13 minutes. I'm going to try and end this at 15. I want to thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart for all your incredible emails and all your thoughts on this very emotional subject that so many people suffer from. And I am happy to be part of it. I'm also happy that this book now has been, every month we get reports about this book, and it's incredible, the amount of people that are actually purchasing the book. And Bradley Hospital in Providence, Rhode Island, and I, as you already know, are partners. And the profits from my book, once again, all of them, 100% of my profits go to Bradley Hospital in Providence, Rhode Island. And I'm very happy that not only are they getting recognized, some of it because of my book, but in addition that this panic and anxiety is coming to the forefront. And it is my goal to talk to people, as many as I can, bring me into any venue that you can think of. And I've been through a lot in the last 4 or 5 months. I've been to a lot of different venues. So there's really none that I really can't handle. And it's important for this to get out. More importantly, they need to know even if you don't suffer and you know people that suffer, that there's other ways besides alcohol and drugs to beat this beast, to manage this thing that we call panic and anxiety. Thank you once again. The name of the book is Scared to Death, Do It Anyway. Please, I invite you, go to my website. It's Beneduce. Go to YouTube, Brian Beneduce, Beneduce. I say that again. And again, thank you to my team of Jeff Mayman and Nancy Thomas, who's from Tapestry Communications. She runs my social media, my Facebook, my Twitter, my LinkedIn, and whatever else is out there. We're going to be doing, I believe we're going to be doing, I'm trying to a Periscope, or it's going to be, there's all kinds of stuff we're doing. But the last thing I'll say with 45 seconds left is we have just finished a promotional video, and I'm going to put that, they're going to put that up there. We've already been hired for me to speak in several different states, so I'm really happy about that. And keep your emails coming. I love them. And going forward, I'm going to be answering 4, 6, 7 emails at a time, as you know, as they come in. I'm way behind, and I apologize for that. But I really wanted to finish this book, and I had a bunch of talks I had to give. So, thank you very much. Have a great day, and I appreciate your time. And stay well.